Hello everyone, my name is Sahil and I welcome you all at Unacademy. So guys, let's start with the today's session. So this session is important articles of the day where we take the most important articles from different newspapers, government publications so that we can have holistic idea on important contemporary affairs. So in today's session, I am going to cover three important articles which I have taken from three important sources: Indian Express, Hindustan Times and the Print. So print, down to earth, economic and political weekly, they are some good sources which directly give articles on the syllabus that is mentioned in our exam, in our syllabus. Now, so the first topic we'll take is aspirational block program that has been launched by Prime Minister of India on the lines of aspirational district program. This article will be important for GS paper number 3, issues of inclusive growth. The next article is states can study feasibility of enacting UCC, says Supreme Court. So Supreme Court ruling has come on UCC because many state governments has constituted commissions to study UCC. Then the third is India UK had signed young professional scheme. So what is this young professional scheme? How it will be helping the Indian immigrants in UK? And this article will be taken under GS paper number 2, bilateral agreements. Now let's start with the topics one by one. So first topic we have taken from Indian Express, aspirational block program. Now before starting the aspirational block program, I want to just discuss one very important principle, that is Pareto principle. Now let's understand this Pareto principle and then we'll apply Pareto principle with respect to aspirational district. So as per this principle, it said that 80% of output is due to 20% of inputs. 80% of output is due to 20% of inputs. Let's take one example. Guys, out of all the clothes that you are having, 20% of clothes you wear 80% of times. When you go to hotel, or anybody when they are going to hotel, 80% of sales of a hotel comes from 20% of items that are listed in menu. Out of the numbers that are saved in your mobile phone, 20% contacts you use 80% of the times. So 80% of our output comes from 20% of input. This is true in all walks of life. Even when we talk about, guys, India, there are certain districts which are having very poor socio-economic indicators, certain districts having very bad health indicators, okay, malnutrition is very high. So basically 20% of the districts are there in India which are responsible for 80% of underdevelopment. So 80% of the poverty, poor socio-economic indicators exist in nearly 20% of our districts. And in order to focus on those particular districts, government in past came with aspirational district program. Now, what is this aspirational district program? So basically, this program was launched in 2018 and the aim of this particular program was to transform 112 most underdeveloped districts across the country. So if we take total number of districts that we have in our country, these 112 districts are about 20% of districts, and these 20% of districts are responsible for 80% of burden in socio-economic indicators. Okay, 80% of 80% of hunger, 80% of malnutrition, okay, they are in these districts. So special attention will be given. Now this particular program is focused on 3C philosophy. What are these 3C? Convergence of central and state government schemes. Now guys, see, many schemes government is operating which are very many schemes government are operating which aim to provide different kind of services. For example, there is Jal Jeevan Mission, which aim to provide functional household tap connections, okay, functional household tap connections by 2024. Then there is a Swachh Bharat mission which aims to provide toilets, which aims to reduce open defecation. So we have Swachh Bharat mission. Then guys, there is Ujjwala scheme. Which aims to provide LPG connections. Different schemes are there. Now all these particular schemes which can enhance the socio-economic indicators will be converged, and through convergence based delivery they will be provided. Then there will be collaboration of different levels of government, for example, central government, state level officers, nodal officers, district collectors, they'll be collaborating so that more precise focus, attention can be given to development. And third, there will be competition among districts through a monthly ranking program. Now, this competition will instill competitive spirit. Now, competitive federalism happens to be a very important dimension of our federal system. See this thing. Sometimes healthy competition can be very important. So the top performing districts, they will have an incentive that they want to maintain this top ranking, and the districts which were low performing, they will get an incentive that they need to come in the tops if there is a healthy competition. And this competition program will instill such competitive federalism in different states. Wherever these 112 districts are, they will push their development. So all these particular things will be coming as a result of the aspirational district program. Now, when we talk about the aspirational district program and ranking that's there, the ranking is based on incremental progress, which is made across 49 KPIs, key performance indicators. Now, these 49 key performing indicators are divided in 5 broad socio-economic themes. You don't need to remember these 49 KPIs because it will not be possible. So, 5 broad themes that we have is number 1, health and nutrition. Number 2, education, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion and skill development, and infrastructure. Okay, on these particular 5 socio-economic themes, ranking will be given. Okay, now this particular ranking is available on Champions of Change dashboard. So on the lines of aspirational district program, now government is going for a microscopic attention, and from district now government is moving towards the block level. So on the lines of aspirational district program, now this aspirational block program has been started. So guys, for this particular thing, aspirational district and block program happens to be very important this particular year. Now, for the success of this particular program, there are Prabhari officers that will be appointed. So number 1, at the level of joint secretary, additional secretary, okay, central Prabhari officers will be appointed. Then states will also be appointing nodal and state Prabhari officers, okay, and then these officers, okay, central Prabhari officer, okay, and nodal officers, they will be coordinating with the district administration, so that all assistance, all technical inputs, other inputs can be provided for holistic development of these 112 aspirational districts. Now, this particular program aims to, number 1, boost spirit of competitive and cooperative federalism. We have seen there is a ranking framework. It will instill healthy competition and cooperative federalism. The districts, okay, different states can share best practices with each other, due to which they have achieved enhancement in their socio-economic indicators. So cooperative federalism will also be enhanced. Next is that districts will be encouraged to develop and replicate best practices of other districts. So already we have discussed it, it will promote cooperative federalism. Then it will also aim at localizing sustainable developmental goals. Now you already might be knowing this thing, that in 2015 we have adopted 17 sustainable developmental goals which have 169 targets. They are to be achieved by 2030. Now basically, under aspirational district program, we aim at localizing sustainable developmental goals. How in local context the sustainable developmental goals can be defined and they can be pursued. And after that, Government of India, at the level of the Government of India, Niti Aayog, specifically Niti Aayog is steering this entire program. Fine. Now, as we talk about the aspirational district program, okay, now how it is enhancing the federalism in India, how it is giving more powers to the state government. Number 1, states and districts have a greater say in their own development. One size fit all is not being imposed on a district. Every district has its own weaknesses. It has its own areas where it can excel. So every district will be given a kind of a customized strategy, and they will be given opportunity to give their crucial inputs. Second thing that comes here is that they try to use existing resources rather than separate financial allocation. So if you remember this particular point, we have seen that it focuses on convergence of central and state government schemes. So I have given you that existing schemes that are there, for example, Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission, Ujjwala program. These existing schemes will be used, they will be better oriented in a precise manner, they will be used. So therefore, what is happening? Existing resources are being used, additional financial burden will not be there. Third, replication of innovative service delivery approaches. So Niti Aayog specifically aims to provide that how in innovative manner, find how we can replicate the best case studies from other states, other countries. Okay, so that innovative approach is a very important part. And next, there is also possibility of a collaboration with private sector philanthropic organization. For example, if I give you one example, under Companies Act, there is Section 135. Section 135 provides for CSR, corporate social responsibility. And as per CSR, it has been provided that 2% of average 3 years profit has to be given as a CSR by a particular countries if they are making a particular profit. There are 3 conditions. For example, if a corporate has turnover of more than 1000 crore, or if a company has a net worth of 500 crore or more, or if a company has a profit of 5 crore or more. If they are fulfilling any 3 conditions, they have to contribute 2% of their profit as a CSR, and this CSR money will be used for the developmental activity. So through CSR, private sector's collaboration can come. Philanthropic organization, NGOs, civil societies, they can also collaborate with government and can provide their crucial assistance. So by these all methodologies, we find this particular thing that aspirational district program aims to bring holistic development. Now, these are briefly achievements of aspirational district program. First of all, aspirational district program has been appreciated by UNDP because of this 3C principle. Already we have discussed competition, convergence and collaboration. So because of this competition, convergence and collaboration, it has been appreciated. Then next thing is that on health and nutrition, some very good achievements have been made. For example, model Anganwadi centers have been established across the different programs. Now, when we talk about one of our government flagship scheme, that is ICDS, Integrated Child Development Services. Okay, so when we talk about the ICDS scheme, under ICDS scheme, 6 supplementary services are to be provided to the children and mothers, okay, children and women. Now, Anganwadi is the heart of ICDS, and through Anganwadi services, a lot of supplementary services such as supplementary nutrition, many health schemes, referral services are being provided. So, Anganwadi centers play an important role for delivering the ICDS benefits, and within the aspirational districts, model Anganwadi centers have been developed. Okay, now these centers are specifically focusing on women and children who are the most vulnerable. Then next is number of institutional deliveries has increased. Now, according to National Family Health Survey 5, institutional deliveries in India reached to 88%. And this improvement was possible because of significant improvement that has happened in aspirational districts. So they are now, as I told you, that 80% of output is because of 20% of input. So these 20% districts had a lot of burden, okay, in terms of poor socioeconomic indicators. Now, as they are improving, national average is also going up. Next, reduction in the rate of severe acute malnutrition in infants, that has also come down. Fine. Now, next thing is that it is also focusing on inclusive approach. Okay. Now, guys, often we find this particular thing that there are certain sections of society which are always ignored, they left at peripheries. Now, inclusive approach is being focused here. Along with that, evidence-based decision making is being done because there is innovative use of government data. On basis of data, fine, the schemes are being oriented, the schemes are being designed, and evidence-based decision making is being taken up. Then basic infrastructure has also been developed. Because of that particular thing, there is advancement in left-wing extremist areas where Naxalist activities are very high. In those areas, by this basic infrastructure, improvement has come. Moreover, agriculture and water resources. Now, District administration has also focused on irrigation facilities, farmer education, crop diversification, better use of fertilizer, better use of government inputs. Okay, by this particular thing also, the farm incomes are increasing, and government's aim of doubling the farm income. So Ashok Dulwai committee earlier recommended that by 2022 we need to double the farm income. Then that deadline got revised to 2024. So for doubling the farmers income, okay, agricultural sector is specifically being emphasized by the administration. Now, there are certain issues also which are associated in this particular scheme. Number one, there is, as far as possible, we are using existing schemes. Now, moreover, if there is some supplementary funding that is needed, then the centralized funding. Okay, in the funding, a lot of control will be of central government, and by this particular thing, districts discretion will go down. District discretion will go down. Central government, state government, central government and state government will be the one who will be taking decisions in terms of fiscal allocation. The next thing that comes here is that the coverage of scheme, okay, or the coverage or the goals that have been taken under aspirational district. If you remember, we have discussed these five broad socio-economic indicators. Here, one very important segment is missing, that is gender development. Gender development. Okay, so gender and environment, two important themes have been missed out. Then next issue that comes here is that less focus is there on skill development and financial inclusion, okay, which would have built the capacities. And we have also seen this particular thing, that convergence is a very important feature. Okay, just if I tell you, yes, so we have seen that the convergence and collaboration will be important feature. Now, as different schemes will be provided where different ministries are involved, it often will bring the problem of coordination. Overlap will be there, which will bring certain burdens in effective delivery. So these are certain issues. Now, on this particular line, I have also framed a mains practice question. So the mains practice question is like this: aspirational district program has been a very successful model of local area development and ensuring sabka saath sabka vikas. Analyze. Okay, so this will be a GS paper number 2 social justice question. You can practice it in 10 marks. Now, moving on. So guys, now I would like to tell you about Unacademy UPSC CSE GS courses. Fine, you can take Unacademy subscription, you can take the Unacademy Plus subscription and Iconic subscription, where you can learn at your own pace. You can take subscription of 12 month, 18 month, 24 month, 36 months, and you can avail flat 10% discount by using the code Sahil29. And now, what are the reasons that you should choose Unacademy? Because you get widest choice of educators, flexibility to change your course, unlimited view on lectures, dedicated doubt solving sessions, printed notes, end-to-end preparation. All the stages of exam will be taken care of, live mentorship, daily answer writing practice. Fine. And now Unacademy is also launching Arambh batch, which is going to start from January 12, 2023. You can enroll in the batch and you can get 10% discount here as well. Then Raftar batch, which will be again a bilingual batch, is going to start from 5th January 2023. And all these courses are available at 0% EMI option, because here at Unacademy we believe that paying capacity should never be a restraint. Fine, you can call at this number. My team will be connected with you and they'll guide you with the bare minimum for process which is there. Now, moving to next article. So this article we have taken from Hindustan Times. Okay. So the article is talking about a Supreme Court ruling that has come, which has provided that what is the power of state governments to conduct the feasibility study on UCC, Uniform Civil Code. Now, let's understand this particular article, what has come. So first of all, guys, I want to give you a little bit of a background information. It's this, over the past few months, many state governments have constituted commissions to study feasibility of implementation of Uniform Civil Code. For example, state of Uttarakhand has made one such commission. Now, first of all, let's understand that what do we understand by Uniform Civil Code. So basically, when we talk about the legal system, there are criminal laws in India, and then there are civil personal laws. That we have. Criminal laws, they include the offenses such as murder, rape, dacoity, robbery, etc. For criminal laws, we have uniform laws. For example, IPC, Indian Penal Code, CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code. If anybody is committing a crime, he will be charged under IPC, CRPC. It doesn't matter what that person's religion is, because these are the uniform criminal laws that we have. But in civil matters, which majorly pertain four things, fine, that is marriage, divorce, adoption, and inheritance. It majorly pertains these four things. So for the civil matters, we don't have a uniform civil code as of now in India. Different communities, they have the freedom that they can, different communities, they have a freedom that as per their own religions, as per their personal laws, they can define the norms of marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance. Uniform law is not there for these particular matters in India. I can show you certain examples. For example, there is Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Indian Christian Marriages Act, Parsi Marriages and Divorce Act, Muslim personal laws, fine, often are not codified, fine. So these different aspects we have. Now, there is a demand that actually we should come out with a uniform civil code for all the communities. These matters should be dealt under a uniform law. We also have Article 44 of DPSP, which specifically provides that the state shall endeavor to secure the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. So whenever possible, UCC, Uniform Civil Code, is to be implemented. This obligation has been imposed by Article 44. See, at the time of independence, religion, personal matters, okay, they were a very sensitive issue, and constitution makers understood this particular thing, that this matter should be taken at a gradual age when people are ready to take this particular reform, to accept this particular reform. Okay, so that was the case. However, when we talk about DPSPs, they are not enforceable. You cannot go to court for implementation of any principle carried in DPSP. So up till now, it has not been taken up. Now we have seen that many governments have tried to form committees. Many state governments have tried to form committees on this particular thing. So what happened? Certain people reached the Supreme Court and they asked that, can state governments constitute certain committees? Are they competent to constitute certain committees? Yes or no? Now Supreme Court has given the ruling in this particular direction. Supreme Court provides this particular thing, that in Schedule 7, we have three lists, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list, state list and concurrent list. So in union list only center can make law, state list only states can make law, and concurrent list both state and union can make law. So these matters, for example, matter of marriage, divorce, infants, minors, adoption, all these particular matters, they come in entry 5 of concurrent list. It means that both state and center can make law on that. So executive power, legislative power of state also extends to entry 5, which provides the matters of civil law. So if they have constituted commission, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It has not violated any constitutional principle. Article 162. When we talk about Article 162, it provides that executive power of a state shall extend to matters with respect to which the legislature of the state has power to make laws. And in concurrent list, legislature of a state government has a power to make law. So they can do this particular thing. Such commissions can be constituted. It's not wrong as per Supreme Court. Okay. Now, as we are discussing the UCC, okay, which provides that communities can have their own personal laws. Fine. Why? Because this matter is related to religion, and for religion we had given a lot of rights to the people of India. Basically, when we talk about religion, we have given fundamental rights to religion. Okay, basically fundamental right to equality specifically provides that on basis of religion no discrimination can be there. Article 15 specifically we have in fundamental right. In fundamental right we have Article 25, which provides for freedom of conscience, profession, propagation, practice of religion. Article 26 we have, okay, but these particular articles are restricted on account of public order, morality. If government wants, government can restrict it. Now, how UCC is going to help? What is the need for UCC? Basically, number one, it will be helping in ensuring the most important spirit of Indian Constitution, that is equality, which also happens to be a fundamental right. As different communities are following their different practices, equality principle is not being achieved. So equality will be achieved. Second, it will help in protection of vulnerable sections of society. Often the personal laws, they happen to be discriminatory against the women. Now understand this particular thing, guys, that there are for example instant triple talaq which got invalidated by Supreme Court, and then the Muslim Women Act 2019 also invalidated it. So in a way, instant triple talaq was discriminatory to women, and many such kind of laws are there which are discriminatory and exploitative for women. So therefore, in order to promote gender justice, to remove the discriminatory practices, Uniform Civil Code can help. Moreover, it will simplify the laws. Right now, we find this particular thing that the multiple law systems are there. It often brings ambiguity. Often there is a conflict between personal laws and between some other existing acts within India. I'll give you one example. For example, when we talk about, the age of marriage, as per the Prohibition of a Child Marriage Act, girls can be married at the age of 18 and the boys can be married at the age of 21. But Muslim personal law provides that women can marry once they attain puberty, and a woman attains puberty at the age of 14 to 15 years. So Muslim women law, personal law of Muslims are allowing the women to get married at the age of 14 to 15. But prohibition of prohibition of Child Marriage Act is providing that they can marry at age of 18. So conflict is coming. Okay, so all these are issues. Moreover, secularism, fine. Basically, irrespective of religion, same treatment is to be given. Okay, it might also be bringing a check on vote bank politics. Now, many number of times, religion is being used as a factor of division, and the religious consciousness will be there till the time this differential treatments will be there in the name of personal laws. Okay, now there are challenges also in this particular direction that will come. The first and biggest challenge is India is a pluralistic society, and as we are a pluralistic society, we always talk about diversity. We take pride in our diversity, in our culture. Tribal people have their own unique rights, many other communities have their own unique right, and homogenizing all these unique rights will be a significant challenge on diversity of India. It will impact diversity of India. Next thing that it will lead to, basically, it is violation of fundamental rights. Article 25 gives right to the people that they are free to conscience, they are free to profess, they are free to propagate, they are free to practice their religion. And when practicing the religion is concerned, they should have the rights in the matters of their own civil affairs. So Article 25 might get tempered. Moreover, there might not also be a political will, because it will become a very sensitive matter. Okay, so these are the things. However, we have example of Goa, which is the only state with a UCC Uniform Civil Code, which was codified during the Portuguese rule, and it's continuing till now. So UCC, this is a example. Now, Supreme Court has also given the judgments, fine, where on the implementation of UCC, there are the judgments of Supreme Court. Most important one are Sarla Mudgal case, John Velmuthan case, and Shabano case. Fine. So basically, the Supreme Court has talked about implementation of UCC in all these judgments. You can use it in your answer. Moreover, here there are some other references also. For example, Law Commission. Law Commission specifically provided that Uniform Civil Code is neither necessary nor desirable at this stage. Why? Because right now, if we see, the atmosphere is where distrust is there, polarization is going in the society. And if we bring the UCC, minorities will assume that it is imposition of majority religion, okay, majority culture. Such kind of suspicions will emerge. Rather, it has been provided that rather than codification of all the personal laws, we need to actually identify those provisions which has a certain inherent defects on it. Okay, fine. By codification of different personal laws, one can arrive at certain universal principles that prioritize equity. Okay, so rather codification of personal laws, okay, we need to identify those provisions which might often be discriminatory. Now, the main question: a unified nation does not necessarily need uniformity. Critically analyze in the context of implementing Uniform Civil Code. So this will be a 10-marker question for our GS paper number 2. Fine, you can try attempting it. Now, the next article. from the print newspaper. India UK signs exchange letters to formalize a professional scheme in London. Now, so basically guys, 9th of January, that is yesterday, we have commemorated, we have observed, we have actually observed Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, which is in remembrance of Mahatma Gandhiji's return to India from South Africa. So on 9th January 1915, Gandhiji came to India, who was the greatest Pravasi, and to mark that day, we observe Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. So on the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, young professional scheme has been signed between India and UK. As per this particular scheme, 3,000 of degree holding citizens in the age of 18 to 30, they will be going to each other country in order to find the job. For example, Indians will go to UK and the UK citizens will come to, people of UK will come to India. 3,000 such transfers will happen. Now, this particular scheme will be operative for 2 years. For 2 years, they will be allowed. Now, this particular scheme is a part of a India-UK Migration and Mobility MOU that we have signed in 2021. By the way, Migration and Mobility Pact just a few days back has been signed with Austria also. What are these migration and mobility pacts? So basically guys, understand this particular thing, that there are people who migrate to some other country, okay, and then they overstay in those countries. Their visa is expired, but they are still staying. Sometimes people enter the other countries without a valid passport, without valid visa. So these people are to be sent back to home country. And for deporting these people back to their home countries, this migration and mobility partnership is needed. Now, when we talk about Europe, large number of Indians are overstaying in Europe. And in order to send them back, deport them back, the European countries want to sign migration and mobility partnership. So we signed an MOU with UK last year and with Austria, we have signed it now. So basically, this migration and mobility partnership that we have signed, it has 4 parts. Number 1, issue of visas for professional and students, visa free entry for certain category of people, okay, social security part of people. Now, Indians who are working in Britain, their social security is to be taken care of, fine, in terms of health, in terms of their in times of crisis, they are to be provided assistance, okay. Then issue of easier extradition by using the mutual legal assistance treaty. So people who have committed a crime, let's say in India, and they go to UK, they will be extradited back. For that, cooperation will be enhanced. So this is the migration and mobility partnership. And in this particular direction, now we have also started this young professional scheme where 3,000 people will be participating in an exchange program. Okay. When we talk about India and UK's immigration relation, so see this particular thing, around 98,000 Indian students came to UK for study last year, that is in 2022. Now this is a 90% increase before the year that was there, okay. So now at the same time guys, it has also been provided that UK is also offering 2 to 3 years stay in UK after the studies have been completed. So post graduation, they can stay there 2 to 3 years. This is an added cooperation between India and UK that's there, okay. Now basically, when we talk about this India UK, and on a broad sense, when we talk about India Europe relations on the immigration, they are very deep, they are very vibrant. Now specifically, if we talk about India and UK, Indian citizens are the largest group of non-EU immigrants in UK, okay. So largest group of non-EU residents that are in the UK, these are the Indian people, and largely they are employed in IT sector, where nearly 3 in 5 visas are being granted to Indian nationals. Then second, healthcare is also one of the main sector which have attracted a lot of Indians there, okay. Moreover, when we talk about the skilled category, Indians have traditionally been given higher number of visas, okay. So highly paid roles of a doctor, okay, roles of IT professionals, skill-based jobs that are there. So guys, I hope that you have understood this entire article, and now with this we come to an end to the today's session. Guys, if you have liked the video, please do hit the like button, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. So that is all for today. Thank you so much.